आयज म्हाका 16B टॉपिकार मातसो उलोवपाक जाय. Many of you will have heard this word 16B and you will know that it is some sort of a controversy, election issue. But I want to talk about how this is making a huge threat to Goa and also badly affecting my profession of architects and planners in Goa, and how this fraud cannot be allowed to continue in Goa. So, purely I will speak little bit about the history of 16B. 2017 BJP Sarkar introduced amendment to the Goa Town Planning Act. That amendment introduced by Town Planning Minister Vijay Sardesai was to allow the Goa Town Planning Board to make any changes to the zoning of land if in public interest. Now, Vijay Sardesai said very recently that he introduced this amendment to help small poor people in Goa and that it is being misused. The point is, however, that the amendment is so badly written that any 5th standard child can also misuse this amendment. And anybody who is standing as a minister needs to not give these excuses that it is misused. We have some of the best bureaucrats, some of the best lawyers advising these people. So how it is being misused, I don't know, and it's very suspicious to make these silly statements and irresponsible laws like 16B. Now I'll tell you what I'll make it very simple. 16B, 3 major problems asa. I will say them as 3 C's: case by case, committee, corruption. What happens? Let's go to case by case. All of these land conversion applications that happen, they are taken in isolation as a case by case plot. And nobody is looking at the big picture of full Goa. When we do plans for Goa, regional plan for example, which involved some of the foremost planners in India in Edgar Ribeiro, Charles Correa. Yeah, they looked at the whole state and they saw what could not be touched. We call them eco-sensitive zones. And then we saw where development could happen and we distributed the land uses over there. So we're not saying don't build. Yeah, make this very clear. We're not saying don't build. But we are saying that you can build in certain areas where the conditions support growth and you should not build in other areas. Right now, for 16B application, one letter is all that comes before a town planning board. And we think it's small things. Poor family, they want to build a house, but they only have orchard land. But actually, a very good study that was done by BITS Goa, 2 researchers, Solano de Silva and Anupreet Singh Bhatia, they have done excellent research, and what conclusions they've got: less than half of the 16B conversions, less than half, 49% are for 500 square meters or smaller, and 20% of the conversions are for 5,000 square meters or more. And there are conversions that go up to 3,90,000 square meters of land being converted from orchard or agriculture into settlement. Just think about the sizes of this. From 1986 to 2008, across Goa, 19 years, only 12 square kilometers of land was converted. From 2019 to 2021, 6,000 square meters of land was converted under this 16B, of which, as you can see, 51% is large tracts of land, 20% of that is mega large tracts of land. So for whom is this 16B? It is not for the Goans. It is for big builders like DLF and like all of these major builders who are coming from out of Goa, who want to convert our Goan forests, our Goan fields, and our Goan riverbanks into this. So this is what I mean by case to case. They are getting away with it because they don't have to look at the bigger picture. They just give something specific to their plot. Now, second thing is committee. Who is deciding these conversions? These conversions are being decided by Goa Town Planning Board. Who is inside the Goa Town Planning Board? Are there any planners in Goa Town Planning Board? There are only two planners in the Goa Town Planning Board. One is the chief planner of the government of Goa. One is a so-called technical expert. Except for that, the remaining 17 members of this committee comprise of ministers, some of whom are not even 10th pass, comprise of ministers' aides and advisors who are more often than not in the pocket of the outsider builder lobby, and comprises of heads of various government departments like Director Agriculture, Director Fisheries, etc. You are leaving huge conversions of Goa in the hands of people who lack the technical ability and knowledge to do these conversions. And this 16B is written in such a way to allow this. Which takes me to a third point, corruption. Whenever there is a committee system in Goa, we have already seen in all the CRZ violations in Kalangut, in Nerul, all of these places, many are coming in the news now. Look at Old Goa, best example. These committees can be very easily convinced and managed. In our Old Goa issue, we have the conservation committee coming to site and taking a measuring tape and saying it is 110 meters beyond the edge of the protected area, when actually it is not. So, as long as there are certain people and as long as it is on, there is no map, no plan, everything is done on a case by case basis, and there's a fixed committee who you have to deal with, this is going to promote corruption and culture of corruption in Goa. So what can we do? Past few weeks I have studied all of the parties' manifestos that have come for the Goa election. I am very sad to see that out of all of the parties, only 3 parties have actually taken up the scrapping of 16B in their manifestos. The Congress party, the RG party, and Trinamool Congress, TMC. It is BJP party I have given up on because they are the ones who introduced this fraud amendment. But it is very sad to see the Aam Aadmi party has not considered this as an important issue for them. It is absolutely necessary that 16B be scrapped and that the 6 square kilometers of land that has been changed from forest, orchard and agriculture to settlement land be reviewed at the time of drawing the next regional plan, which should start now. It has already not started. It should have started 4 years ago. And it needs to be reviewed and looked at by educated technical people on a full Goa level. You cannot leave planning to 10th standard failures. They think that they will take a blue color pencil and a yellow color pencil and color a paper and that is a plan. They do not understand that plans are dependent on the width of roads, on the slope of the land, on the kind of soil below the land, on where the water collects, on what already exists there, be it natural features, heritage sites, or anything else. As Goans, we need to see to it that 16B is scrapped. If we have genuine issues that we want land to be converted for housing of our own, it can very well be done during the village panchayat consultations for the next regional plan. I therefore appeal to all political parties and all Goans to please think and vote. Think about saving Goa. Thank you.